Hello, this is Victor and I want to make a video here to give my opinion and point of view on different topics. I will ramble a little bit, sorry if I ramble too much, but I want to talk about Games Workshop vision and what we demand to Games Workshop and what is the vision of Games Workshop. And I want to link this with the YouTube community and also with the tournaments community, because I think there are a mismatch there. And then I will talk also about official rules and game balance. So I want to couple this because since the appearance of Age of Sigmar especially, there is a lot of discussion, and game balance was also being there, a discussion about the balance of the game and units that are not balanced itself. So let me just put this, please, this is not attacking to anybody. If you feel attacked, it's not my intention, and feel free to leave your opinion below. I will appreciate any feedback, any opinion, and I will do this in the most friendly environment possible. And just to share my opinion and what I think Games Workshop is acting as we see. First of all, let's make a look to the mission of Games Workshop. The mission of Games Workshop is miniatures, first of all, best miniatures and miniatures. This is the main vision, and then they do fluff. I think fluff for them is the second big part. So miniatures, fluff is what they do. Miniatures to be able to sell a lot of miniatures, and fluff to sell the books. And if we see the business of Games Workshop, the big business is selling miniatures and kits for miniatures, and the second part of the business is Black Library, that is much smaller than Forge World. I believe is much smaller than Forge World and Games Workshop, but this the second part is fluff. And then for them the last of the priorities are rules. The rules is for them just an excuse to use these miniatures in something else than painting. But the main objective for them is miniatures, modeling, craft, fluff, and the last part rules. And I think this is a big mismatch with the tournament, with the competitive players, because for competitive players the main part or the first part is rules, is game. They start from game and they use the miniatures for the game. Games Workshop is completely the opposite, so they put emphasis on the miniatures and they don't care, we put them that way, they don't care if the game is balanced and if everything is matching. And I think this is why they made the step out from the competitive scene, because competitive and rules is not the big is not a priority for them. And why is this, or what I think is that, so any company have a limited number of resources, so you have to decide, you have to choose where you put these resources. And making and designing great miniatures needs a lot of resources. It's not that easy, and we see that sometimes they mistake even doing miniatures. They do miniatures that are not nice, or we think that are not great. We have seen some fluff. For me, one of the last flops I have seen is one of the berserkers during the how it's called, the end times. There was one hero berserker that have too many stuff on top. You cannot have flails, axes, and everything, and was looking a little bit silly. But we have to say that most of the times the sculpts, the quality of the plastic, and they have a big flop with resin, and I think they are doing a big step to move out of the resin. But we have to be clear here. A plastic mold is much more expensive than casting. Doing injection is very expensive, and this is why a single miniature is disproportionate compared to unit, because you have to pay the same investment. And this is why Games Workshop is investing a lot on plastic, but the drawback is single miniatures are expensive because of that. Because you have to pay almost the same investment for a single miniature than for 5 guys on a sprue. So we have to think that they have to pay almost a mold per sprue, most likely. So this is the first point. So Games Workshop is investing a lot of money and a lot of resources in designing and in technology to make the miniatures every day better, and I think they are achieving that. The second part is they invest a lot on books. They invest a lot on printing nice books, they invest a lot on doing really pieces of art on these books. You can like more or less, you can think that they are more focused to teenagers or less. Comics by tradition were more focused to the teenagers, but there's a lot of adults reading books, they have comics. So it's the same for Games Workshop, I think. They try to get and to modernize themselves. A book from the 80s with a lot of text is not working today. It's not a real hook for the teenagers. And if you want to increase your consumer base, and this is the key part, they need to make books that are appealing to teenagers and are appealing to new people. And they have to make miniatures that are appealing to new people, and they have to do rules that are easy to play. And I think this is why Games Workshop did Age of Sigmar. It's a way to introduce new people, it's a way to increase their customer base, their consumer base. This is the most important thing. The other thing I see is the YouTube community sometimes can make a lot of noise. But if we compare, I would like to see what is the proportion compared to the real consumer base. So let's think that the YouTube community, we are about 5,000 people. That I think is much more. Even most of this YouTube community is also part of the tournament community. Let's put all together to 5,000 people. 5,000 people, that most of these people, we are veterans, we have our armies done, and we use a lot of eBay to increase our stuff, a lot of times. And we only pay by some of the new kits if we like it, and if not, we can be a lot of time without buying anything to Games Workshop if we don't like. We buy the books from time to time. I have to say that, yeah, I buy some of the new kits, I buy some of the books, but I'm not a huge consumer. And most of the veteran players are not huge consumer because we pass this period where we buy a lot of miniatures just to build up our army. So for Games Workshop, and also if we compare, we say we are 5,000 people, and most of these people have is using also alternative miniatures, are buying in eBay, so we are not the real consumers of Games Workshop. Games Workshop cannot survive on us, and for them, we are not priority for them. Why they have to invest in a community that is not big base of consumer for them? Yeah, we can make noise in the internet, they will think, okay, they will make noise for some month, but what I need to do is to use my shops and to use my stores to create more consumer base, to go to the teenagers, to go to new people, new blood, and buy these kits to new people and create my consumer base. And I think this is why Games Workshop, yeah, they will try to create rules to make maybe Age of Sigmar more competitive, more appealing, but they are not focused in the competitive scene. They are more focused on the casual pick-up games. They are more focused on the I want to do a game today and just get some fun during an afternoon. They are not focused on the tournament scene. And this is why Age of Sigmar is clearly in that direction, it's clearly in the direction of pick-up games. And yeah, and I think I understand that it's pissing off a lot of people from playing Warhammer Fantasy. I'm one of the persons that I was a little bit pissed off when this happens, because I invest a lot of time on my armies. So now what I need to do is, I keep playing 8th edition, or I reinvent myself to adapt to the new times and play Age of Sigmar. And to be fair, I will try to do both things at the same time. I will pick games of 8th edition. If there is people that want to play 8th edition, I don't have any problem to keep playing this game. But I will also start adapting my armies to the new Age of Sigmar. In that way, why I have to choose, I can play both games if I need it. And if the community is coming with the 9th edition, welcome to this community. It will be great. Let's play also 9th edition and let's move forward. And then we have to choose, we can play both games if you are open. And if you don't like one of them, choose the one that you like it. This is my point of view. Yeah. But I also want to show you why Games Workshop is not interested in a difficult game that was played with the base of consumers was shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and it's not because Games Workshop was not doing great miniatures, and I don't think it's because the game was unbalanced. New gamers don't know if the game is balanced or it's not balanced. New people that never play don't know if the rule sucks or not until they start playing. But what they see is a big rule book of more than 100 pages they have to read before playing a single game. And they see all the complexity of movement, and they see that they have to rank the units, and then they should see in the internet and the armies are 100 miniatures. This is very discouraging if you are a newcomer. You cannot only this goes for a very niche market, and very few people will be hooked by a game like that. Put on the other side why 40k was getting or was gaining against fantasy. You can play with less miniatures, first of all. This game system, although it's quite complicated, is much easier. The movement is straightforward. There are some special rules, and when you play with a new person, you realize how complex can be this game. So I think Age of Sigmar is the great move. They simplify to 4 pages of rule. Now the rules are the same as any board games. Board games normally have 4 pages of rules, and they can have a huge strategy, and they can have a lot of tactical behind. If you write the rules of chess, it will be less than 1 page, and you cannot say that it's not tactical. So 4 pages of book of rules is much than enough to have tactical background. The other point is, it's not true that we have 4 pages of rules. You have to add all the word scrolls that you're going to use for the battle, because there are more rules there. And if you use a scenario, you have to add the rules of the scenario. So it's not that simple as we see at the first sight. It's not only 4 pages. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm rambling too much. The other thing I wanted to talk is about official rules. It seems that for Age of Sigmar it's extremely important, the official rules. And I want to put this on the table. What means official rules? I know if we without any environment, official rule means the rules that are coming from the producer of the game. This is the definition we have for official rules. But if you go to a tournament, what are the official rules of a tournament? Is not the Games Workshop rules, are the tournament rules, are the Games Workshop rules modified by the tournament. These are the official rules for the tournament. So we have to think that official rules does not exist. If I play at my home, the official rules is my house rules. I can follow the rulebook as it is, or I can follow the rulebook with some discrepancies. So official rules does not exist. Official rules is what you agree with your opponent, or what the tournament organizer decides to do for the official rules. Sorry. So yeah, why are important the official rules? Is when you do a pickup game in a shop or in a store. But even in the cases, in most of the stores, we start seeing more and more that there are some house or store rules that most of the people are following. And the first day you go there, yeah, you will miss some of these rules that are special from the store. But they will explain you the first day, and the second day you are sure that you will know them. So what I mean is official rules. Yeah, normally we define this as what Games Workshop say, but are barely played. Even in 9th edition, I see very divergences from the official rules, from the Games Workshop rules. Even in the Game Workshop stores, they don't follow 100% official rules. So why we force Age of Sigmar, why we are so upset when people is inventing a score system or a point system or a system to create your army? They say, these are not official, but if everybody agrees to use that, why is not official? This is my point. So don't be so picky, don't be so on what is official and what is not official. At the end, official is what you agreed with your opponent to play with, or if you are in a tournament, is what the tournament organizer decide that have to be the rules for this tournament. And we have seen in 8th edition, and we see this in Warhammer 40k, and we will see this on Age of Sigmar. The official rules are the rules used during this game. And the last point I want to talk is, yeah, everybody says that, and I agree that Age of Sigmar is a pain on army building. And they say that it's not balanced. Any of the systems are put there, everybody say, but is this not balanced? But this point, yeah, but they miss this is not balanced. Wounds, but it's not balanced. Okay, I understand, it's not balanced. Some units are more favorite than others. But here is my question. When Warhammer 40k or Warhammer Fantasy have been balanced, what is the percentage of units you use in a competitive environment from your book? You go to competitive environment. I play tournaments and I don't play. Normally I use units that most of the people is not using. The first question that people is asking me, why you use that? Why you bring this army? Okay, because I don't care if I'm using the most effective unit. And I know I will not win the tournament, and my challenge is to do a good role in the tournament, but normally it's not to win, because I go there to use my miniatures, to show my miniatures. And I use what I painted, and I paint what I like it most of the time. So I paint what I like from a static point of view, and I don't spam too much, because I don't like to paint the same tank 20 times or the same unit 30 times. So this is why in tournaments, when I go to tournaments, I don't expect to do a huge role. I understand the mechanics. I'm competitive because I play to win, but I know that I self-limit myself when I'm building the army, because I limit myself to what I like aesthetically and the units that I like to put there. Sorry if I rambled too much. I just wanted to share my opinion. I just wanted to put on the table some different points. I hope you find this interesting, and please, I want to see what is your feedback and to see what is your point of view on that. And if you want, I can do a live show and we can discuss this on a live show, or we can discuss this by Skype if you want. I'm very open to see your opinion and to share with anybody that wants. Just summarizing. Be clear, Games Workshop, the priority is miniatures. The competitive environment, the priorities are rules. There is a big mismatch, and I understand that the competitive gamers feel that they are not supported by Games Workshop. Games Workshop never thought in supporting this type of competitive gaming. So this is why there is this mismatch, and also this upset about Games Workshop performance in terms of competitive and rules setup. Second point, the YouTube community, including the tournament community, I don't think is enough consumer base for Games Workshop, and I don't think is important point of sales from Games Workshop. And I think this way Games Workshop, yeah, they care because they don't want to lose consumers, but it's not the first priority. We are not the first priority in Games Workshop. Veteran players are not the first priority. We have a lot of armies, and they know that if we like the miniatures, we will buy the miniatures that we like, but we are not at this moment more fanatic as you can be as a teenager, that you like a lot of things and you buy and buy and buy and you don't paint. And what happened me during when I started in the hobby, I have a lot of miniatures and I still have a lot of miniatures to paint, but it's not the same. And Games Workshop is pointing to different consumer base, and even if all the 50,000 people or the 10,000 people of the YouTube Community Pass tournament are buying to Games Workshop, I don't think it's a base big enough for a company to survive. There are a lot of players that will never go to YouTube. There are a lot of players that just go to the Games Workshop stores or to the local store and they play there, and they don't go to YouTube, or they just go to YouTube to watch and they are not subscribed and they don't do channels and they don't go to tournaments. Because I have been this player for a lot of years. I was this player for 10 years before I go to my first tournament. And the last thing is, yeah, Age of Sigmar is not balanced. I know that there is a lot of complaints, but I don't think there is any point system that can be balanced. And Games Workshop never claimed that the game is balanced, and they are not looking for that. They just put some rules to make fun, to pass as a nice afternoon. They are not putting rules for tournament, and I think this is one of the mistakes we do from time to time. We try to force a game that is not designed for tournament to go into tournament. And I think the only solution is at the end, the people, the community that wants to go for tournaments, they create their own rules. It's like, I will put, maybe it's a silly example, but the people that is making chess, they don't do the rules for the chess, or the people that is making balls, they don't do the rules for the football. There is another part of the people that do these rules, and they update these rules. And yeah, and that's all what I want to share in this video. Sorry if I ramble a little bit, sorry if I have been a little bit long, but I just want to share with you my opinion. And just to clarify, I don't attack to anybody, I just want to put on the table what I think is the reaction of Games Workshop and what I think Games Workshop is doing. They try to increase the consumer base, and we think that YouTube community and the tournament community is not the consumer base they want to increase. They want to increase the casual gaming, the people that have some spare time and can invest some time on the hobby. That's all. Thanks a lot for watching, and please put your opinion below. Very interested in knowing your opinion and your feedback. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.